Hi students, I welcome you all for control system lectures. In the previous class, we have discussed what is a block diagram reduction method and different problems we have solved using block diagram reduction method, and we obtained the transfer function of the block diagram, which is having so many components and summing point, branch point, right? Altogether, we reduced whole block having sub components and summer and branch point in a single transfer function, right? Which determines the mathematical model of the block, right? So in this class we are going to discuss what is signal flow graph. If you clearly understand what is the block diagram reduction method and how we obtained the transfer function of a system using block diagram reduction method, the signal flow graph is not that difficult to understand. It is just a representation of a block diagram in terms of a signal flow, right? So we'll get into the topic and we'll solve numerical problems so that it will be clear how to get the transfer function using signal flow graph, right? So introduction to the signal flow graph. It is actually depicts the signal, how the signal is traveling from the one point to other point in the system. It gives the relationship of the signals, right, which is traveling in the path. Some path signal is traveling, and it will give the relationship of the signals which is traveling from the one path to the other path, like one node to the other node, right? So if you consider the signal here, right, if you see the signal here, it is having two nodes, x1, x and y. There are two nodes, and the gain of A is a gain which is traveling from point x to point y, right? So like before going to the signal flow graph, you have to understand the different terminologies in the signal flow graph, so that it will be easy to construct the signal flow and obtain the transfer function, right? So as we discussed the branch point in the block diagram reduction method, so it is here we have the branches. Branches are nothing but the line you can see here, which is connecting two nodes. So x and y are the nodes here, x and y are the nodes, and A is actually a connecting point. It is a gain which is connecting x node and y node, right? That is actually branch. So you can see the signal flow graph which was given down here. So I have given different nodes, different gains of the branch, and input node, output node. If you see here, starting from x0 to x4. So whatever the red mark I mentioned are actually nodes, right? x1, x2, x3, x4, x3, x4 are the nodes. And the signal traveling from one node to other, right, is represented in terms of a gain, its gain, right? Suppose if you observe here f there, right, it is traveling from x0 to x3. Like it conveys the message from x0 to x3 with a gain of f. Similarly, the path which I mentioned in the black dot, right, it is a path which is traveling, right, it is having a input node and output node, right? You can see two nodes there, and you can also see the signal which is traveling from x1 to x2, right, x1 to x3 actually via x2, like it is traveling from x1 to x3 via x2, isn't it, right? So when it is traveling from x1 to x2, what is the gain? Gain is C. And when it is traveling from x2 to x3, the gain is E, right? So each and every node, like each and every branch in between, it is having certain gain. Suppose if you see x2 to x3, you can see gain as E as well as G. Depends on the path it travels, right? It may travel from x2 to x3 via G. It can travel from x2 to x3 via E, right? So the direction is important, the path is important, right? Then what is actually the path is, right? It is actually connecting two nodes, signal flowing from one point to other point, right? It is a path is a transversal connecting two branches. It is simple words. Path is a transversal which is connecting two branches, right? The signal, you can observe the signal flowing through certain nodes. You can represent it as a path, and the gain across the path is called a path gain, right? If the signal is traveling from input node to output node, then the path which it chooses is called a forward path. When the signal is traveling from input to output, which chooses certain path and ends at output node, is called a forward path. It can choose any direction, any branch it can choose, but at the end it should travel from input to output, right? Then those kind of paths are called forward paths, right? So if you observe here in this diagram, R of S is the signal, and you can observe the signal is going through a path. Like, see, there are two forward paths here. One is from here, like connecting G1, G2, G3, G4, G5 and G7. Like one is going via G5, and other one is also traveling the same nodes, but it is having one more branch called G6 and ending up at C of S. So if you observe here, starting from input to output, there are two paths, right? Then loop is something, it is a closed path. When the signal starts at one node, it should end at the same node. See here, example I have given here. If you see the node V5 of S and V4 of S, two nodes are there, and the signal, it starts from V5 of S, goes to V4 of S and come back again to V5 of S. That means the signal starts at one node and ends at the same node is called a loop. And if the product, if you are taking in the loop, is called a loop gain. That is G2 into H1, right? G2 is the gain you got it between this V5 and V4, and V4 and V5 is having the gain of H1. So the product of G2 into H1 is the loop gain, isn't it? So similarly, this is actually the loop gain for this, and you can observe different loops here, like V3, V2, it is having one loop, and V3 to V1, and again V3. Like you can observe here, this is another loop, right? There are 4 loops in this diagram, right? So loop gains are given as 1, 2, 3 and 4 here, right? Similarly, what is self loop? Self loop is something, it is having a same loop. Loop is nothing but the signal which starts from one node and ends at the same node. But if you don't have any other nodes involved in the loop, flow graph, in the signal flow graph, if there are no other nodes in the loop, then that loop is called self loop. It starts at the same loop, ends at the same loop, but doesn't travel with any other node, right? So you can see here, this is the self node. So coming to the touching loops, if the two nodes, when a loop is having a common node, if you see here in this diagram, this is the common node where two loops are touching, right? This is different loop, this is a different loop, but two loops are touching at the same node. So that node is called, the particular node which is connecting the two loops with a common node is called a touching loops, right? Non-touching loop is just a reverse of this, right? If you observe here, there are, if you take this loop, like yellow loop which I considered, it is actually not touching to the other loop here, right? So this kind of loops are called non-touching loops. When the loops are not having any common node, is called non-touching loops, right? So chain node is something which is having the incoming signal as well as the outgoing signal. See here, this node actually tells, like if you see this diagram, it is having a touching loops, L1 and L2 are touching loops, and that was connected between one node and that particular node which is having an input signal and output signal. G2 here is a input signal, G3 is output signal, right? These two signals, like incoming signal is there, outgoing signal is there, which is in between that node, and that particular node is referred as a chain node, right? So whatever the points we discussed till here, I have given all the points in this particular diagram, right? It is having input nodes x1 and x4 are input nodes, x2, x3 are the nodes in between, which will be having the input node and the input branch and output branch. So that kind of node is called a chain node, right? X2 is a chain node, x3 also a chain node, because it is having input signal as well as the output signal, right? Transmittance like tells you the gain. Whatever the gain in between two nodes is represented as a transmittance, right? So you can see the loop here, right? When the signal is flowing from x1 to x4, like via x2, x3, right? Obtaining A, B as transmittance, this is called a forward path, right? The signal should start from one node, ends at one node, but it connects the whole path in between, right? That is called a forward path. So we have gone through all these steps, but why we are going through these steps is we have to get a transfer function. We have to get a transfer function using a signal flow graph. So Masson is a scientist. He proposed this signal flow graph, like Masson rule he proposed, which gives the relationship of input output, right? In a block diagram deduction method also, what we did is at the end we got one transfer function. By reducing different blocks, we got one single transfer function. Similarly, by using this Masson gain formula, we will be reducing the whole signal flow graph into a single transfer function. How we are doing it, we'll be seeing by numerical problems, right? But you just observe what is the signal flow, what is the meaning of the transfer function, what is the signal, it is actually what is the transfer function relationship. It is given by summation I equal to 1 to n pi del I by del, where pi is ith forward path. See, if the signal flow graph is having many number of paths, when you are considering particular path, that is called ith path, right? How to calculate del? Del is actually determinant of the system. Del I is also determinant, but at that particular forward path, right? These formulas del I and I are given as follows. Del I is something sum of individual loops plus sum of two non-touching loops, like sum of the product of two non-touching loops minus sum of product of three non-touching loops, and so on, right? So del I is something which is giving, like it is represented as 1 minus the loop gain, which is not touching to the ith forward path. If you are considering ith forward path, like certain forward path, if you are not having any non-touching loops, then that kind of loop should be considered calculating del I. Once we jump into the problem, solving a problem of signal flow graph, you will understand these terminologies with respect to the problem, right? We'll start deriving the signal. We'll start deriving a transfer function, and we'll proceed further obtaining a transfer function using signal flow graph. Right, let us consider any signal flow graph. Right, I'll just consider a signal flow graph. Signal flow graph where R of S and it is having a node, input node is R of S, another node 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll take 5 nodes, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 nodes, right? And output node is C of S. right? We'll take a feedback loop, feedback here, direction is this way, but here important thing is you have to see the direction, how the signal is flowing. So based on the direction you will be calculating the gains. So I'll take this gain as 1, this gain as G1, this gain as G2, this gain as 1, right? Then we'll take the signal flow feedback loop here as minus H3, right? Another feedback we'll take it from here, we'll connect it to here. This is actually loop 1, okay, first node, right? So this feedback loop gain we'll take it as minus H2, right? This is the signal flow graph. What we need to get is a transfer function of C of S by R of S, right? So first thing you have to see is the forward path. First step is check with the forward path. Check with the forward path. If you observe in this diagram, in this signal flow graph, there is only one forward path. See here the signal is forward path is something which connects the input to output, right? So from input to output, how many paths are there? Starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is only one path, one forward path. So what is the path gain here? Forward path. What is the path gain? It is just a product of the signals here. Like you see, 1 into G1 into G2 into 1. Right? I will represent forward path gain as P1. Forward path gain as P1 is equal to G1 into G2. Right? So this is forward path gain. Now compute the loop gains. Right? Loop gains. Here actually loop gain is what? 1 into minus H1. This loop gain is G1 into minus H2. This loop gain is minus H1. Right? 3 loops are there. We have to calculate the loop gains, individual loop gains. Right? So loop gains are given as, second step is compute loop gains. Compute loop gains. Compute loop gains. If you observe in the diagram, first loop gain is what? Minus, check it. Yeah, here first loop gain is minus H1, right? Second loop gain is G1 into minus H1. Third loop gain is minus H3. So we'll write it the loop gains as P11, yeah. P11, first loop gain. First loop gain as P11, that is equal to minus H1. Second loop gain P12, that is, observe here, what is P12? P12 is G into minus H1. Here anyway it is 1, it is just a product. So G into minus H2. Right? G1 H2. It is actually minus, so we'll write it minus here. Right? Then third loop gain. Third loop gain is P13. That is equal to minus H3, right? Observe there in that diagram, right? So now what we have to calculate, like now here if you observe loop gains are calculated. Now we have to calculate del actually. See, what is the mass and gain formula? Like I'll just write it down, and based on that we have to calculate. Mass and gain formula is TF is equal to 1 by del into summation K is equal to 1 to N Pk and del K, right? In PPT it was actually same thing I have given, but instead of P I have mentioned it as I here. Instead of K I mentioned it as I there. It's all same. You have to, that representation could be anything. Like you can represent it as I or K or whatever. But the formula remains the same. Right? This is the formula. Now forward path Pk is calculated. There is only one forward path. Pk is calculated. Now we are calculating del. For del what we need is Like what is the del formula? Del is given as 1 minus sum of sum of product of sum of product of individual loops plus sum of two non-touching loops, sum of product of two non-touching loops minus sum of three non-touching loops, sum of product of three non-touching loops and so on, right? So for this sake we are calculating a individual loop gain. Here we computed a individual loop gain. Now what we have to calculate? Sum of the product of two non-touching loop gains, right? Now compute two non-touching loop gains. Check with two non-touching loops here. What are two non-touching loops? If you observe here, see, non-touching loops are something, the nodes of one loop shouldn't be the same node for other loop. If you observe here, this loop, right, this loop 4 to 5 and 5 to 4, this loop, and 1 to 2 and 2 to 1 loop, it is not touching, it is not having any common node. Similarly, this loop and 1 to 3 feedback loop, right? These loops are non-touching. These two loops are non-touching. So there are two non-touching loops. We'll write down the equation for non-touching loops. Right. Two non-touching loops are there. Two non-touching loops. We have two non-touching loops. Two set of two non-touching loops actually. Right. First set we have first non-touching loop is P21 is equal to H1 H3, isn't it? Check it out. Check it. H1, this loop gain into this loop gain, right? Product of this loop gain into this loop gain. Now second loop gain, second non-touching loop gain, that I'll mention it as P22, that is equal to G1 H2 H3, isn't it? Just check it out. See here, this is the one loop, G1 minus H2, here minus H3. So minus into minus plus, G1 H2 H3, like this is a product of two loops, like P22. Now we have calculated two non-touching loops. Are there any three non-touching loops? Check it. There are three loops, but are there three non-touching loops? See, there are overall three loops are there, but this loop and this loop are actually touching with the first node, right? Node 1 is having the common node of loop 1 and loop 2, right? H1 and H2 is having a same common node. So we can't consider this loop because it is having a common node. So there are no three non-touching loops, right? So that is how we can compute now. And now what else is left here in formula? Check the formula. Now we have calculated pk, we have calculated del, we have to calculate del k. What is del k? Del k is actually the gain which gives the determinant, which is represented as del k. Write it down. Del k is equal to 1 minus loop gains which are not touching to kth path, kth forward path, right? So you can observe here, first we'll see the forward path. Check the forward path. Are there any loops which are not touching to the forward path? So there is only one forward path, but all the loops are touching to it, right? Check it. See the loop here, it is actually touching to the forward path. Only one forward path is there, no? So just check if any non-touching loops are there. No, we don't have any other non-touching loops. So what happens here? Loop gains of non-touching loops of kth forward path is 0. So 1 minus 0, right? Have you got the point? I guess don't get confused. Del k is 1 minus loop gain which is not touching to the forward path. In the forward path, if you see, there are loops which are touching to it, but we want non-touching forward path, right? So del k will calculate here. Del k is equal to 1 minus, there are loops which are touching to forward path, so we have to make it this as 0, right? So now what we have to do, just use this formula, Mason's gain formula, right? Yeah, this is the formula, and substitute all the terms which you got it into the formula transfer function, right? So TF is equal to I think PK FK. If you observe here, PK and del k, we have k as only 1 because the forward path we have is only one forward path, right? K is equal to only 1, so we have to take P1 del 1. What is P1 here? G1 G2. What is del k? Del k is 1, so numerator part is actually G1 and G2 because del k is only 1, Pk is G1 G2. Now calculate del, right? Del, we have to take these are the products and we have to take the sum of the products, right? These are the products obtained. We have to take the sum of the product. Sum of the del is 1 minus sum of the product of individual loops. Like product is there, we have to sum it up and take sum of the product of two non-touching loops. We have the product, we have to take the sum of it, right? Write it down. G1 G2 divided by 1 plus H1. These are individual loop gains, H1 G1 H2, right? Plus H3. These are individual path gains, and two non-touching loops we have to write here now. That is H1 H3 plus G1 H2 H3. So this is how we get the transfer function using Mason's gain formula. This is the transfer function, right? We'll solve another problem with the more forward paths, then it will be more clear for you, right? Consider the second problem, problem 2. Problem 2. Yeah, R of S is input and it is having a node here. We'll take 8 nodes in this formula, in this problem. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 as output C of S, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 nodes, right? Now we'll take loops, right? We'll take 3 loops here, 7 to this loop, right? This is minus H3 will make it, and we'll make one loop in between this. This is h1, and another loop will take it as a common loop from here, right? h2 minus h2, right? Gains, loop gains, we'll write it down. 1 g1, g2, g3, g4, g5, right? 1, and another g will take it from this node, right? This node to 5, right? This is actually other forward path. Just to mention the other forward path, taking this direction I'm mentioning here, direction, it is as g6. So observe number of forward paths in this diagram, in this signal flow graph. In the signal flow graph, we have a forward path starting with 1 to 8 via G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Another forward path, if you observe here, 1, 2, and you can come here, G6, G4, G5, right? This is the other forward path, right? So first we'll write Mason's gain formula. Mason's gain formula is given by T of S is equal to 1 by del summation K is equal to 1 to N. K is equal to 1 to N. What is that? K is forward path actually, alright? Pk del K. Right? So this is the formula, Mason gain formula. Now first thing is calculate the forward path gains, Pk, right? We have to calculate forward path gains. So how many forward paths are there in this? I mentioned there are two forward paths starting from R of S to C of S. One is going from all the nodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then second forward path is 1, 2, and it is going to 5, right? 2 to 5 and 6, 7, 8. Calculate the gains here. First forward path gain is G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Second forward path gain is 1 into G6 into G4 into G5, right? Write down the forward path gains. First forward path gain, that is P1 is equal to G1, G2, G3, G4, G5. Second forward path gain, P2 is equal to, what happened, like just check it out, from 1 it is going to G6, G4, G5, right? P2 is equal to G6, G4 and G5. So now we wrote forward paths. Now second step is to calculate del, right? In the del, what we have to compute is individual loops, number of non-touching loops, number of 2 non-touching loops, number of 3 non-touching loops, right? First thing we'll do is individual loops, right? Second step. This is the step 1. Step 2, compute del. To compute del, we have to calculate individual loop gains, right? Check the loops here. There are 3 loops, 3 to 4 H1, 3 to 5 H2, 6 to 7 H3. 6th node to 7th node, the loop is G5 into H3. See here, 3 to 4 G2 into minus H1. Then 3 to 5 G2 G3 minus H2. Right? Write down the individual loops. First individual loop, individual loop. P11 is equal to minus G2 into H1. Second individual loop P12 is equal to, what is P12? Second loop is minus G5H3, right? Third individual loop P13 is equal to minus G2 G3 H2, right? Okay, so now we finished the first individual loop gains we have computed. Then second thing we have to calculate to compute del is two non-touching loops. Two non-touching loops, right? Check non-touching loops in this diagram. So this loop is and this loop are non-touching. Again this loop and this loop are non-touching. Loop 3 to 4 and loop 6 to 7, right? This loop and this loop are non-touching. Again 3 to 5 and 6 to 7 also non-touching. There are two non-touching loops. Write down the gains. Observe the gains here. Non-touching loop gains, right? G5 H3 H1 G2 G2 G3 and H2. Write down the loop non-touching loop gains. So first two non-touching loops, two non-touching loop gains. P12, sorry, P21 will write, because 1 2 we mentioned for individual loops, right? We'll write it for P21. P21, right? Loop gain is G2 G5 H1 H3. Check it out. Product of two loop gains, right here. G2 G3 H1 G2 G3 H2, right? G2 G3 H2 and G5 H3. G5 H3. Like first loop gain is G2 H1, like we'll take this loop here. G2 H1, G2 minus H1 into G5 minus H3. Minus minus get cancelled out. So G2 G5 H1 H3, right? So G2 G5 H1 H3. Second loop you observe. Second loop gains G2 G3 H2 G5 H3. Minus minus will get cancelled out. You will get G2 into G3 into G5 into H3 into H2, right? Loop gains, just a product of it, right? Second two non-touching loops P22, right? What we get is G2 G3 G5 H2 H3, right? Now what we have to calculate is, are there any three non-touching loops? Check, any three non-touching loops are there? There are there are only three loops actually, and but this loop and this loop are touching. G2 G3 H2 are touching with G2 H1, right? There is a common node here, so we can't consider three non-touching loops, right? So there are no three non-touching loops. No, there are no three non-touching loops. Three non-touching loops. So we have to calculate del k now. What is del k? 1 minus sum of, what is that? 1 minus loop gain which is not touching to kth forward path. Loop gain which is not touching to kth forward path. So observe the forward paths. If there are any loops which are not touching to that, then we have to consider. So this is the forward path, right? First forward path, if you observe, G1, G2, G3. So this forward path, are there any non-touching loops? Are there any non-touching loops here which is not touching to forward path? No, in this first forward path it is not there. But observe the second forward path, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the other forward path. But if you see that the loop 3 to 4, there is a loop inside the forward path. That is, this is the forward path. Right, I will just take it here. See, observe the forward path here. This is the forward path. This is the forward path. But if you observe this loop is not touching to this forward path, right? Right. So we can consider that path here. Del K we can calculate from here. Del K is given as, del K is 1 minus, sorry, I'll select here. One minus, what is the formula? Loop gain which is not touching to ith forward path. Loop gain that is non-touching to kth forward path. Kth forward path is equal to 1 minus, what is that? First forward path, I think two forward paths are there. First forward path, all the loops are touching. Second forward path, the loop gain which is not touching is H1 G2 minus H1 G2 actually. Right? So 1 plus H1 G2. Right? So this is how we calculated all the parameters required for mass and gain formula. Now substitute overall transfer function, overall TF is given by TF is equal to 1 by del summation K is equal to 1 to n Pk del K right, Pk del K. So Pk we calculated, computed here, right? This is individual parts. So Pk, what we have to take? P1 and P2, right? P1 plus P2. Product we have to calculate it. We have to sum it up, P1 plus P2. That's how we get first step forward path, right? P1 into P2. Summation of P1 del 1, P2 del 2, right? See, check it out. So for forward path, P1 del 1, right? Del 1 is what? Is there any del 1 here? First forward path we don't have anything. This is actually for del 2. This is for del 2. Del 1 is equal to 1 minus first forward path we don't have any non-touching loops, so we are making 0. So del 1 is equal to 1. Del 2 other loop, I mean second forward path we have this, right? Now substitute Pk del K, P1 del 1, right? We'll substitute 1 by del so that the denominator part will be cleared. Denominator is just del values, right? Del values, how we get is number of individual loops, we have the product, we have to sum it up. Number of two non-touching loops, we have the product, we have to sum it up, right? We'll do that, right? Here I'll mention del equal to K is equal to, right? Yeah, 1 plus G2H1 plus G3H3 plus G2H3H2 plus G2G5 H1H3 plus G1, sorry, G2 G3 G5 H2 H3. This is for del, right? Summation of k is equal to 1 to n pk del k. Now we'll substitute that pk del k, p1 del 1 plus p2 del 2, right? So what is p1? P1 del 1, del 1 is 1, p1 is forward path k, and p1 is 1 g1 to g5, p2 g6 to g5. What is del 2? Del 2 is here, del 2 is 1 plus h1 g2. So write it down in the next equation. Tf is equal to g1 g2 g3 g4 g5 plus, this is actually pk del k. Del k is only 1, that's why we are writing only pk. Now p2 is g6 g4 g5 into del 2 is 1 plus g2h1, right, divided by this whole thing. This I'll take it as capital X. Write it down here, capital X. No, write the equation when you are writing in exam, right? So this is how we get a transfer function using signal flow graph. So I think it was clear with the signal flow graph. So we'll just give a recap of a signal flow graph. What we did in this class is we have got the different functions. I mean, we understood how the branch points and signal flow graph, different elements that are in signal flow graph, and we understood what is Mason's gain formula, and we started giving example. I mean, we solved two numericals in which we used Mason gain formula to compute the overall transfer function. So that's it for today's class. We'll meet you in the next class and we'll start the new chapter.